Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Griever back here, bringing you guys the latest in the Behind the Bar reviews. This week's chapter of 7 Deadly Sins, chapter 288, is entitled Operation God. And I think we all have a pretty good idea what that means and what this is going to entail. Now, before we get underway here, we have the cover page, which looks nice. I like the idea, even showcasing characters like Hendrickson and Gilthunder. Everybody involved in this battle has a kind of a profile shot and their like title or what they're called, Lyland's Daughter, the Napping Reaper, things like that. The thing is that as I was talking with some of the guys on a Discord that hosts the Boar's Hat podcast, links will be in the description down below. I was talking with some of those guys and gals, and one of the things is that the cover pages should be utilizing their one-page thing as to give us a little more world building. So even though I'm liking what they do, I feel like it's a bit of a waste. Just wanted to bring that. That's just really quick, just saying that maybe they should go a little bit of the Oda route and bring us a little more world building stuff, a little more past stuff, maybe stuff that won't necessarily be completely relevant in the current story or give any information away, but it would be really helpful to see a few more things like that. I'm not saying every week, but once in a while some world building in the cover page would kind of plump up the world a little bit. That being said, let's just go through the chapter, because the chapter is pretty much action-packed, and we delve a little bit more into Zeldris' ability. Now, at the beginning, we knew that Ludashel, Rodesiel, whatever you want to call him, he and Escanor are supposedly going to team up. Now, I believe that this was probably going to pull a double grace move, a combo attack, which is very heavily emphasized in the beginning arcs of 7 Deadly Sins, but kind of lost some luster as we progress through the story. And I was thinking, okay, will they enter God's realm? Are they going to do something like that? Combine Sunshine with Flash and see what happens? No, not necessarily. What they do is they just decide to like team up, it seems. What happens here is that Rodesiel kind of looks into the ability and kind of just reaffirms what we've already known, is that he has the magical kind of bouncing ability from the Demon King. The reflective magical attacks are going to do shit all because he's got a portion of the Demon King's ruler ability. Okay. And his own ability, Ominous Nebula, is allowing him to not only suck everything towards him like a vacuum, but they're being hit with a mysterious attack. One thing that I said, which I believe that he was simply speed blitzing, even the one who is known as the Grace, the Flash, Rodesiel himself, he states right here, it's not confirmed, well it is later on, but it gets rid of one of the things that I thought this invisible attack was, this counter strike, was not a full counter, but it was simply Zeldris speed blitzing everybody with his swordsmanship, considered the best swordsman and all that stuff. It would make sense. We saw this when Meliodas went toe-to-toe with him, that he cut his arm off instead of Meliodas cutting his, even though Meliodas is touted as being the strongest. So, a lot of context there, a lot of proof. According to him, this is not the case. It's not his swordsmanship. It's some invisible attack that he's enacting in some way. Now, he's proven wrong by this because they decide, okay, let's team up Escanor. Escanor uses Cruel Sun and stuff. They blind him so he can't see anything. They turn up the rubble of the earth and stuff so he can't see, and then they both attack at the same time. Yet they are both still countered by Zeldris, and they both receive damage across their chest, like throw them back into the brick wall. And it's like, okay, what the hell just happened? Because we blinded him. He couldn't see it. Our attacks were camouflaged. There's no way he could have known what direction both of our attacks was going to come from. So this leads into more explanation that happens later on. But before this, Zeldris just goes, no, I'm tired of this. I'm going to get serious now. And they're like, well, what do you mean by serious sort of idea? And it pulls everyone even closer before. Like, this vacuum, you thought this vacuum was bad before. Now this black hole is, well, it's acting less like a vacuum and more like a black hole now. He's intensified its suction power, let's say. Well, that sounds dirty. Anyways, he pulls everybody towards it, and even Merlin is caught up in this. And Merlin says, I won't be able to teleport in time. Kind of like he's actually increased the intensity. And it seems like Zeldris is getting quite serious. And the reason he did this is he states to Merlin and goes, I'm going to take care of you first and get that commandment out of your hands, knowing that Merlin has the commandment. And this is where that doesn't seem to matter because Escanor to the rescue, as once again he takes order from two people, and that's one of them, the love of his life. And he even states it here. It's quite bold for Escanor, but then again he is in his bold form, so I can see it. I can see it. What simply happens is that he takes the blow, grabs Merlin, and he gets slammed into the wall, protecting Merlin. But then he realizes, after Merlin says, Escanor, I'm sorry, he says, I could not stop myself. Like, my heart is what leads me to do this sort of idea. It's kind of a badass line. I don't know it, word for word, but it's pretty like I'm powerless against the power of my own heart, something like that. And then he goes, but wait a minute, Merlin. And then he realizes he did not protect her completely. She's got a gash across her shoulder. And he just looks at that and he's just you see that, and then crazy prominence and just boom, boom, boom. He's firing off basically, it looks like meteorites or multiple cruel suns just emit from his body, and he's just blowing the place to smithereens out of his back. He's just cradling Merlin. He doesn't give a crap. He just boom, 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 boom. And it's like, whoa, okay. So what's Escanor going to pull? Is he going to pull some crazy shit? Now, I didn't expect what's going to happen just as soon as it did. However, it is really cool to see Escanor kind of start to lose his shit, and he's just like, I'm going to beat you now. And I hope you realize you've just hurt the one person in the world that matters to me. I'm going to get pissed off. And we see Escanor prideful and stuff before, and just sit down, youngling. But pissed off? This will be a very good example to see if he continues to try to attack Merlin, exactly what Escanor is going to do about it. Now, whether this attack by Escanor has any actual measure of control by him is left to be seen, because there's two pieces that he's just firing it off at random, hitting anything in the vicinity. At the same time, he seems to hit it perfectly, so a giant chunk of the stone ceiling falls perfectly on Zeldris. Now, we see that there's a long-winded explanation, guys, but I heard this as a theory. I didn't like it then, and I don't like the fact that this is what it is. I would have thought it'd be way more cool that he literally just increases his swordsmanship to a crazy level or something like that. The fact of the matter is he's a Gara with darkness instead of sand. If you don't know who Gara is, watch more anime. I mean, I'm not going to go crazy into detail about it. Suffice it to say that he's created basically a certain area of effect around himself, and within that area, anything that gets touched, it uses darkness to shred it to pieces. It's an automatic defense. He doesn't really need to control it. It's automatic. So even if it's faster than him, the darkness is moving faster than light. So, and Rudessiel even brings this up and says, because Merlin gets done explaining it and refers to it as it should be called full react, which is kind of a lame move. Full counter sounds cool. Full react is a little odd, but suffice it to say that is how it acts. It acts like Gara's sand from Naruto. So little lackluster for what I thought it was going to be. I mean, it has multiple stages, so I guess it's not that bad. It acts like a black hole and stuff. It's a little more in-depth, but suffice to say I was hoping for something cooler from this invisible attack. This Counter-Strike thing. I thought maybe his swordsmanship would come into play, but clearly it's just his overwhelming shield of darkness, a constant shield, like the Sand of Gara. Now, when this happens, Rudessiel loses his shit. He's like, okay, moving faster than the speed of light. Is it faster than even my Grace Flash, which it clearly has proven to be. And then we get something that, honestly, if someone had said it to me back when we were first introduced to this guy, I would have said, yeah, sure. He's clearly mourning the loss of a lover by the looks of this. It's significant. This isn't like the body of mail and stuff. Not that there was a body of mail, as we found out. This is clearly some form of lover for Rudessiel. And it's clearly, I tried to look at it and see, no, it's a man. So, and he is weeping over the body. He's crying out in agony and stuff like that. Doesn't make me feel any more for the guy because he's a genocidal maniac. But he's clearly meant to be either, I mean, people are saying bisexual or gay or whatever. So I guess he's a gay angel. Okay. Once again, that's not something that I really, like, if someone had come to me and said, you know what, and then just the way he is, I'm like, yeah, okay. And I know there's a joke somewhere. I'm not saying it's above or beneath me, but I know there's a joke somewhere in the fact that a found out gay angel is now inhabiting the body of a woman. I know there's a joke there somewhere, and I can't think of a decent one. If I could think of one off the hand, I would have said it. Bar none, don't care that this is on YouTube or whatever, I would have said it because if it's a joke, it's a good joke. But I can't think of a good one, but I know there's something out there. Somebody in the comment section down below, come up with a good one because there's somebody's going to come up with something funny for that. Either way, once again, it doesn't make me feel any more for the genocidal maniac because he's an asshole. But at the end of the day, it's clear that he has sacrificed everything for this. His genocide comes from not being able to let go of his hate. As he puts it, he goes, I've given up love and friendship and everything for this. I am the leader of the archangels. I am the leader of Stigma. My job is to eradicate you demons. I cannot comprehend you despicable demons. Now that translation is a little odd. Comprehend them? He doesn't need to comprehend them. I think he means I cannot abide by while you live. I cannot stand your existence, you despicable demons, is more so what he meant. Rather than try to actually learn about them and comprehend their ways or something like that. You know, there's no equalizing, there's no living in harmony with Rudestiel around with demons. It's just not going to happen. Now, Gil Thunder takes the hit, and that's a pretty big hit to take for Gil Thunder. I mean, Hendrickson's worried, and Gil Thunder takes the blow because, once again, it's Margaret's body, and as I have toted for a few weeks now, Margaret's body is going to break down eventually. It cannot sustain all this damage. This might be the leader of the archangels, but it cannot maintain the power of this grace at this level for X amount of days or hours indefinitely, and it also cannot maintain the severe amount of damage that Zeldris is dealing to it. It's still a human vessel. It's still a human body, human shield. It's eventually going to break down. It's eventually going to come to the point that Margaret is going to literally, her body just won't be able to handle it anymore. So, when's that point? Don't know, because Gil Thunder got in the way of the counterattack, which seemed to do a fair amount of damage to him. It blew him back and he got severely cut, but it didn't cut his whole head off or anything. So, I think he's still alive. The end of the chapter here, though, is the big moment. It's the big thing, because as Zeldris points out, he goes, all that's left is you two. Cusack basically says, or would you die already, you measly cockroaches? You know, you're nothing to our Lord, sort of idea. And then Escanor just kind of looks at Merlin and says, hold out for one more minute. And I'm like, as I said at the beginning of the review, I'm like, you're kidding me. You're kidding me. We're going to this level already? We're going to this level already? He's just going to jump into that? Now, some people have said right off the bat that Escanor, right now, the reserve power he had, that's why when he fought Meliodas, he was much larger than he appears right now. This could just be a portion drawing thing. It could be anything. We don't know. But he's clearly in the form of the one. It clearly hit noontime. So he has 1 minute to beat the ever-loving shit out of Zeldris. And from what we've seen, the moment noon hits, and Merlin's like, all right, I'm not going to make any more mistakes either. And she teleports. And Escanor just gets up, turns around. And remember, Zeldris claimed, I'm going to get serious now, and uses Black Hole to his, as far as we know, to its utmost drawing capacity. And Escanor just stands up and it's not affecting me. Like, what? And everyone's like, wait a minute, Omulus Nebula is not affecting him. And even Zeldris states, why is my Omulus Nebula not affecting you? And this is such a callback to Esterosa saying, well, why is my commandment not affecting you? And the best line, it was translated better on some sites rather than the main sites that I use. But suffice it to say, he basically walks up to Zeldris and goes, you know, Whether it's Meliodas, Estarossa, or you, it seems all you siblings won't be satisfied until I literally beat the shit out of you and prove to you who's number one. And I guess your time has come. And it's true, he did. He beat up the older brother, he beat up the pseudo-older brother, and now it's the younger brother's turn. It's the third. He's already taken them both down. Now it's time for number three. Number three, with the form of the One. He's in the One. He looks beefy. Once again, not as beefy as before. It appears. Once again, that could be just a little bit of mistake in drawing the portions correctly, like the proportions of each character. We don't know the distance between them. I mean, we know that Escanor was walking towards Zeldris, but how far did he get? It could be a distance. We don't know. I wouldn't be remiss if people picked up on that, as what I read in the comment section that people did, that potentially right now he's not as strong of the One as he was when he fought Meliodas. However, it's still the One. Omnilus Nebula, the moment noontime hit, Omnilus Nebula did nothing. It doesn't touch him. And if he's as close as I'm thinking he is, that means that darkness is literally not counterattacking him. It's actually not doing anything. Chandler also realizes, he goes, where have I felt this power before? So they're going to recognize it. Now, once again, the badassery of Escanor, just whether it's Meliodas or Estarossa, it seems none of you will be satisfied until I basically beat up your entire royal family to prove to you who's number one. Who's top dog in this world, and it's me. So, I'm 288, I was hyped for. 289, I want it out right now. Like, I want to refresh the page and see, oh, guess what? It was a double feature this week, guys. Chapter 289 is out, because I can't wait. I really cannot wait for this chapter to come out, because I just want to see. I want to see, what can the One do? Remember, he just done Meliodas, just done. So what is he going to do with Zeldris at full power, using his original magical power, using the power of the ruler? He's Hand of the Demon King. He's ready to go. I think Escanor's still going to be something. I think that it's going to come to the point that he's not going to, the battle will once again be undecided. Meliodas will either wake up, or Estarossa will be found out as male and they'll get all their memories back, and that'll halt the fight. One of the two will happen, but I still say that Escanor is going to give Zeldris a shitty rude awakening. One hell of a rude awakening for him. That being said, guys, that's the end of the chapter and the end of the review. What did you guys all think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Please like, subscribe, comment. As always, it's always very much appreciated. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Do you think Escanor is going to beat the crap out of Zeldris? Do you think this is where we finally see the limits of the One? But once again, the invincible incarnation of power, I'm still holding that title remains true. That being said, guys, drink responsibly. This has been Griever with your Behind the Bar reviews, and we'll see you next time.